I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, the Arakwal people of the Bundjalung Nation, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Are you ready to win at the game of life? Well, throw out that rulebook and get down to the business of being the best and most authentic version of you. Welcome to the Human Design Podcast. We're changing the rules around success, abundance, purpose, love, and life, where we're creating a planet where everyone can thrive in a world that loves and supports each other. I'm your host, Emma Dunwoody, a qualified master coach, human design expert, podcaster, and entrepreneur that is living the life of my dreams, breaking all the rules while doing it, making a huge impact, and living my design and manifesting miracles on the daily. Join me as I break down and simplify everything you need to live in alignment with your human design, teach you how to recondition your unconscious mind for greatness, and to take back your power so you can manifest your heaven on earth and serve the rest of the planet at the same time. It's time to give up the fear and step into your highest potential, to reach for the stars, to know and live your greatness. It's what you deserve, and it's what the planet really needs from you. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Let's talk about the FLFE, or Focused Life Force Energy. I've been in love with this service since 2019, and I attribute a lot of my improved performance in all areas of my life since then to this incredible service. Right after I first put the FLFE on my home, my business took off, and to be honest, my kids actually started getting along better than they had in a really long time. But back to the business. I actually launched my first mastermind the first week of lockdown, with great success when many were struggling. Last year, when I was walking the Camino, I noticed that my body was a lot stronger and fitter, and I'd gone without the joint pain that I'd actually experienced 4 years earlier when I walked it for the first time. And I honestly believe it's being in the FLFE for the last 4 years that's helped my body over that time rest and recover and build muscle and strength. And as I've navigated a number of significant challenges over the last 4 years, like losing both my parents, the end of a 24-year marriage, and building a 7-figure business, I often hear from friends how amazed they are by how quickly I move through challenge, how quickly I get to a place of love, releasing the pain, the trauma, and the conditioning much faster than many, and I know that I get to letting go and love much faster than I used to. The FLFE raises the consciousness of a building or a place or device that it's connected to, meaning that everything and everyone in the vicinity of this higher consciousness field accesses more love, healing, success, and joy than when you were swimming around in the standard collective consciousness. This gives you access to greater inspiration, ideas, thinking, healing, dimensions, grace, and all sorts of good things. To top this all off, the FLFE mitigates EMF. It actually transforms the harmful non-native EMF frequency into good, healing, and protective frequency of shungite. My dog Alice cannot get enough of my phone ever since I switched it on, often sleeping with her head directly on it. Jeffrey and Clayton, the founders and creators of this service, are on a mission to raise consciousness and to get their incredible service to as many people as possible. And so it is very affordable, and you can try it for free for 2 weeks with no obligation. And if you like it, then you can sign up. Check out the links in the show notes and turn your home and office into a temple. Hey, and welcome to today's episode. Well, I'm excited to hang out with you for the next little bit of time to share a couple of things that are on my mind and to go over something that I think so many of you are potentially unconsciously doing, maybe consciously doing, that I want to help undo so that you can redo it in a way that's more authentic with you. But before we go into that, I want to first and foremost say thank you so much to everybody that has reached out about my book. I am so freaking excited to bring Human Design Made Simple by me out into the world for everybody that has been asking for this from me for the longest time. So To everybody who in Europe and Australia that have already pre-ordered, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am just so excited at how well it's going already. And for you, those of you in the States, please stay tuned. It's coming. It will be not long, and you will also be able to pre-order the book, which is very, very exciting. And if you are in Australia or London, well, Europe, if you want to travel, keep your ears tuned, because there's going to be an event in London and there's going to be an event here in Byron Bay that people can come along to if they want to be a part of the launch of the book. So super exciting stuff. Now, as I talk to you today, it is actually holidays for me. I was meant to be away on holiday with a extended family holiday that I think I can be honest with you guys. It was meant to be me and the kids and Justin and his family to celebrate Justin's dad's 80th birthday. And, you know, for those of you out there that have been through anything really challenging, I'm sure you know how I'm feeling. So I'm at this point after splitting up with Justin last year where my adult mind, the part of me that is present in every moment, the part of me that is my higher self and oh so much more evolved than my ego and a lot of my inner child stuff, is well and truly onto the new. Like I'm ready to move on and let go. And, I want Justin to have as much success and happiness and love and all the great things as I do, want those things for myself. However, I want to share this little story with you because I think it's important to understand that grief is something we cannot avoid, and it is different for everyone. And, well, as I mentioned on the Transits podcast, I may have thrown the intention into the fire at the end of the Mexico retreat to fully release Justin so that both of us can move on. We can rediscover what this new relationship looks like as co-parents, and, carve out these new identities and lives for ourselves as we move forward, separated from each other. And, well, the moment I got home, I was hit with grief, like grief I've not felt yet about the separation. And it was fascinating just sitting with it because, as I said, my adult mind, my higher self, she's good, she's sweet, she's ready to move on. She knows that this is the best outcome for everyone involved, even though it's been hard and painful at times. I feel overall I have a very positive outlook. However, the 25-year-old version of me who bought the dream, bought the happy ever after, the life forever, that version of me, well, she wasn't quite ready. She still had quite a bit of grieving to do. And one of the challenges that I've had in the past is that I put other people's needs and the things I should do above my own. So I got to the beginning of this week knowing that we would have to go away on the weekend and sat with my emotional authority to be really honest. I'm like, I really need emotional clarity because I don't think I can go. I don't think being on a catamaran with even though we are getting along perfectly fine, is going to be what my healing journey needs right now. So it took me all week to say, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. A couple of really powerful conversations with him. I felt terrible about letting his family down. They were really lovely about it. But the moral of the story is that no matter how much we want to be over something, we want to let something go, we want to, our higher self or our positive outlook is like ready and feels like they just want to move on, we have to honor the parts of ourselves that aren't ready, that are going at a different speed, at a different pace. And one of the things that I am so grateful to say is, like, just from the moment I made that decision, the moment I was super honest, the moment I actually drew a line in the sand and said, I'm so sorry, I fully appreciate that the, in inverted commas, right thing to do right now would just to be go and suck it up. From the moment that decision was made, I've felt a massive release, a massive letting go. And that part of me that really just needed time to let go of the dream that was created at 25. Well, she really did, um, integrate. She went back into me, instead of needing to be heard or seen anymore. It's just amazing when we make the correct aligned decisions for ourselves, how we can so easily transmute the trauma, the pain, the shadow. So I wanted to share that story with you guys because I know that there's so many of you out there that are going through all sorts of challenging things. I mean, we all are. I feel like there's a lot of challenge, a lot of grief. Every second person I spoke to over the last 2 weeks has said the word grief. So I know there's a lot of that going on right now. So I just want to say, be really kind to you, and trust your process. We're in a time where we really do need to learn to trust ourselves and trust our intuition, and trust our strategy and authority. So I hope, I trust that story has helped you in some way. What else do I want to check in with you? So you would have heard on the podcast, or or even if you're on my mailing list, that we have created this Authentic Success Club. Why? Because you asked for it. HDX is the most incredible collective community learning platform out there. And many of you desperately want to be a part of HDX, but for whatever reason, you're not ready to commit to yourself to invest that much right now. Now, well, me being me, I wanted to create something that was kind of like a foot in each camp. And I get it. All the strategists out there would be like, no, don't do it. You're confusing people. You're this, you're that. You know what? You can stick your strategy. I want to make sure that you guys have something that lets you access the incredible work that I'm putting out in the world, but also everyone within our collective, within our community, our teachers. I'll be drawing on a lot of the wisdom that's shared, not only sharing my own wisdom and learnings, but we're creating that so that you can have monthly access to me, to the things that I'm teaching, and if you're really lucky, a hot seat, because we will be providing those as well. So if you're interested in finding out more about the Authentic Success Club, please go check out the links in the show notes. And for my HDX crew, wait for it. You know how I had to postpone that startup class that was all about human design, starting a business, all that, really like the next stage of the incredible workshop that I ran? Oh my goodness, I was clearly meant to postpone it because I have just gone down a massive rabbit hole and have built out all of this incredible stuff. I'm so freaking excited to share it with you. So I'm really, really, really passionate right now about business. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this woman who is a successful business coach, she was talking about how she got into business, and she got into business to have freedom. And in the beginning, she had lots of freedom because it was just her. But now she has this team, and she's kind of accountable to this team. And I'm listening, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. We have to give up our freedom for the conditioned model of a business. All right. Like, I actually learned many years ago, one of my, mentors from a distance, who's now someone I very gratefully get to hang out with a lot and call a friend. I watched her take a big global business with, I don't know, like a lot of team members, could have been more than 100 team members, like a really big, like with offices in Sydney, and I'm not even sure like where else, but like there was this big team, and she pivoted her whole business. She got rid of the entire team and turned it all into this nimble consultancy. So everyone that she needed for the whatever she was putting out that month, people would consult to her. And I remember thinking, that's the business model I want. I don't want to be tied down by rules and meetings and strategy, and you now have to conform to this, because what's the point, right? What's the point in getting into business? Because let's be honest, once you build your own business, anyone who's had great success, they're going to tell you you've had to, head down, bum up. There's been times that it's not necessarily easy. You have to choose to believe in yourself. And there's no way I'm going to do this and create something that's so me and beautiful and comes from a place that I'm so lit up about. And then once I get to, and she's talking about, this business coach was talking about like multiple six figures, so 200,000, and then have a team dictate who, what, when, and how. No, thanks. I say no. I don't want that. So it really encouraged me to focus today's episode on whether or not your conditioning is building your business right now. Is your conditioning building your business right now? Are you listening to these other people that might be 1 step, 2 step, 4 steps, 5 steps ahead of you, and you're listening to what they believe? So they believe you have to have this team and then be 100% accountable to this team. Are you then taking on that conditioning and making it your truth? Because I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. I'm here to tell you that my business, even though I've had a few months of feeling like I'm in scarcity, my business is continuing to grow at like 50% month on month, like big growth. And that's because I'm spending more time in my authentic success. So the things that light me up, the things that I'm good at. Now, that doesn't mean that I get to like throw out everything that I'm not good at. There are areas of business that I want to improve upon. This podcast is one of them, being a little bit more structured, play around with batching. But again, the challenge I have with batching is that I like to kind of touch base with you guys of where I'm at, what's going on. And if I'm batching, it just feels too contrived. So for me, I'm in this place where I'm learning how specifically to maintain the freedom and create strategies and structures that still give me the authenticity. Like, what does batching really look like for me? So today, I want you to get super honest with yourself. I've got a couple of journal questions for you. I want you to grab out a journal. I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen. Press pause just for a moment. And if you're in HDX, I'm actually going to go through the chart with a lot of this stuff in our startup phase. Okay, so I can show you how it maps back to specifically to your human design. But today, for you guys listening, we don't have hours here. So I'm just going to get you to, I want to bring awareness to the business model that you're creating. Are you creating a business the way that other people are telling you to create it? Are you somehow subscribing to the model of success taught to you or shared with you by others? I want you to write that question down, that answer down. Now you can press pause or you can listen to me ramble just a little bit. So you know that you are creating a business from your conditioning or that everyone else is telling you to build if you are thinking about each step. Okay, so it's mental energy. You're learning something from someone, then you're thinking about it. Maybe you're being an awesome student and being taking imperfect action, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But if you are completely thinking about it, if it's all mental energy, then you're not allowing your authenticity, your strategy and authority, your design to step in and guide you. Okay. Now, oftentimes, especially if you're a line 3 like me, you have to experiment with a few different things to know just as much what you want and what works for you as what you don't want, and what doesn't work for you. So there's always going to be some sort of experimentation in the beginning. But what I want you to avoid is just the dogma. Like, well, this person has got a successful business according to them, and they're telling me to do exactly this. So if I do this, then I'm going to have the same results. And that's just not true. In many cases, if you're really good at forcing yourself to do exactly what, a mentor's done, in many cases, you're going to get some sort of success. Sometimes you might get great success. However, you might also have burnout. You might also feel completely unfulfilled. You might also wonder why you spent all this energy climbing this mountain of success just to discover that this was the wrong mountain for you. So the first thing I want you to focus on is, are you thinking your way to a business model because of what you see externally of you? Or are you allowing your human design, your strategy and authority, getting to know things like your profile, understanding how your energy works through type and your centers? Are you actually allowing your human design to guide you? Okay. Great question. Take time in your journal. The next question I've got for you is, how do you decide what business model to create? I think that when we're in the beginning of growing a business, starting a business, this is one of the hardest questions for us to answer. Like, how do I know which model to follow? Well, simply put, and obviously there's layers to this, but simply put, if you're a manifester, your business model has to include the space to follow your creative urge. If you are a generator or a manifesting generator, then your business model is all about building the stuff that lights you up. If you're a projector, then your business model is all about giving you time to obsess and learn over the thing that you love, and being seen in your business and acknowledged for your wisdom. If you're a reflector, your business is all about how people, places, and experiences make you feel. All right. Now, the part of this is that I want you all to hear is, your business model has to come from a place of, you love doing this. You love it. Like, whatever it is, you love it. So first and foremost, the topic, the focal point, whatever it is, do you love it? Then the business model that you're creating, do you love it? Does it light you up? Does it feel good? Do you have the creative urge? Is it the thing you want to obsess about? Does it feel good to be around it? Pay attention, because this is how you know how to build your correct model. I know for me, in the beginning, the first thing I launched was my mastermind. Now, everyone told me, don't do that. You start from the bottom of the, the triangle, the pyramid. What is it? The ascension model, as they call it. And you start at the bottom. So you start with the free. And I already had the free stuff out there. I had the podcast out there. And then you go to the next. And the next would have been HDX at the time. But I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to be in person with people straight away. I was already one-on-one coaching. So then I've just launched my mastermind, because they were the things that, as a manifesting generator, I responded to in my external world and lit me up. So really, you decide your business model by focusing on, am I actually doing something that I love to do, or am I doing something that I think I should do? Because that's from the mind, not from your authenticity. And then you need to pay attention to what gives you energy. Like, what models, what products give you energy? Because starting up a business isn't going to be easy anyway. So you better start with what you love, the way you love to do it. The next thing I want to talk about is that we have this model in society at the moment. Society's probably not that. The next thing I want to talk about is the entrepreneurial dogma that's going on right now. And that is that so many places, especially if you're listening to this, you're probably a healer, a coach, you're a service-based business. And you see all these people out there, including myself, that are the face of the business. They are the leader in the business. They are, they start being a solopreneur and then they build a team around them. And they all look like they just love it. Like, it just comes naturally. Now, the thing I have to say to you is that not everyone loves it, and it doesn't come naturally. And I have actually seen now So many people trying to force themselves down this road of being the face of the business. I love being the face of my business. I love being the one that just gets to talk about the things that light me up. I mean, I'm a line 5, I've got a defined throat, I've got the 3420, like this MG is designed for this. However, I think that this entrepreneurial model does so much disrespect, or disservice is a better word, to so much of the entrepreneurial space. And I want to give you 2 examples. The first one I want to talk about is Taylor. You guys know all about Taylor, my COO, right? This woman is incredible. There is nothing she cannot achieve. Like in the last 12 months, we have spent tens of thousands of dollars on very specific experts for specific parts of the business as we work with the incredible Nikki Rowley. Now, when we, let's say, brought in a Facebook ads person, this Facebook ads person did only like 0.00 something percent better than Taylor did on the ads. And this is the person that specializes in it. Then we also did it with landing pages. Same deal. Like they did better, but not the money invested better. So Taylor is someone who is exceptionally good at what she does. However, she doesn't want to be the face of the business. She doesn't want to be the one that's out there talking on stage, being front facing. That's not her jam. And for years, she was like, Jesus, like, I want to have great success. I mean, she's a freaking 5'1" MG with the 54-32. So the girl wants to achieve. However, she didn't want that model. So the thing I want to say to you is please honor the truth of who you are, what lights you up, the role you want to play, because there's a place in every business. Just because it's my name, my face, my vision, you know that my team are just as much a part of this success as I am. And does Taylor feel any less because it's not the Taylor Jyson show? No, of course she bloody doesn't. She loves what she does. It's exactly what she's authentically designed to do and to light her up. My entire team, I feel this way, especially like Amanda, my PR person, same deal. Then there's another incredible human, I won't say her name, on my mastermind, same deal. She's been trained. She's an incredible coach. Really powerful at what she does, holds space for everyone. She's just this epic human. And for ages, she was just trying to force herself into this model of like solopreneur, coach, like do all the things, be all the face. And the deeper we went into the mastermind, she's like, oh crap, I'm never going to thrive in this model. I thrive around people, being a part of a group, being a part of a team. You know, I succeed when the team succeeds. And like, boom, all of a sudden, this dogma of entrepreneurship blew up, and she actually started to get onto the correct, authentic path for her own success. So again, I invite all of you, I encourage all of you to actually discover what's true for you. Authentic success means that you are going to succeed by your definition, which we're going to get to, when you're really honest with yourself, when you stop thinking you have to be something someone else tells you to be, and you start believing in you and your truth and authenticity. Sound good? All right. So I'm going to leave you with a little exercise. Okay. And again, you can pause this as you go, or you can just listen, write down the questions, and then take half an hour out of your day, maybe longer, to sit and do this exercise. The first thing I want you to answer is, what does success mean to you? Because the first thing we've got to do is we've got to blow up the old paradigm. We've got to blow up the conditioned success model. Get it up, blow it up, throw it out, get rid of it. And really discover what success means to you. Because success to me means bloody world domination. You know, like being on a stage speaking to thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, you know, millions of people if possible. You know, to me, it means working, you know, like spending a lot of time doing the work that I love. It means traveling the world. It means stepping out of my comfort zone. It means a lot of adventure. It means, you know, connecting with lots of different other specialties and experts and healers and speakers and putting us all together. Like it's all about having a huge impact. You know, you guys have heard me talk about, I want to create work that sticks around for 7 generations after I'm gone. But of course, that's the model I want. You know, I'm a 3-5 manifesting generator, you know, like the 5s want to have an impact. But just because this is my model of success doesn't mean it's your model of success. Okay. So the next part to that question is, how does your life look and feel by your definition of success? How does your life look and feel by your definition of success? Really, really important. My life looks like I work 3 days solidly, and then I have days to do not much. And even that is starting to shift now, you know, like I want to be speaking on more stages. I want to be traveling. I want to be able to take my kids as often as I possibly can when I travel. So what does that look like to me? How does life feel? You know, one of the big things for success for me was moving further and further north in Australia. So I was in a warmer climate, because that's what success feels like to me. So really play around with that. How does life look and feel by your definition of success? And then the last thing I want you to do is I want you to take a few moments. If you know how to do your heart cohesion meditation, hand on your heart, close down your eyes, slow down your breathing, bring something into the heart space that you feel grateful for. Sit there for 90 seconds. You're going to get your heart and your brain, your gut into cohesion. And then you're going to ask yourself this question. Okay, and this is what we call future pacing. It's giving you the opportunity to access your future self, the wisdom, the person that's already manifested the things, the success that you're looking for. And the question is that now you have the success on your terms, what advice would you give the now version of you? All right. Highly recommend you cut out some time to do this little exercise, to connect with your future self, and then get the advice that version of you, the authentic success version of you, has for you, instead of looking for that advice external of you. All right. Well, I trust you got what you needed from today's episode. Thank you again for all your support with the book. There's going to be lots of book stuff. Please share it with everybody. Please go buy it if you haven't bought it already. And come along to Byron Bay or London. I'm sure there will be something that we will do in the US as well. So just come along, say hi. Cannot wait. You know, I actually went to the gym this morning, and the person before me with Ellie was like, "Oh my God, I just bought your book." It freaking made my day. It made my day. So please get out there, support me, support the book, and come and say hi. Come and say hi. Come give me a hug. Yeah, I like that. Okay, peeps, I love you lots, and I look forward to having you on the next podcast. Bye for now. Thanks, everyone, for being here all the way to the end of the podcast. I hope you got lots of value out of it. I certainly had a lot of fun doing it. Could I please ask that you share this podcast with friends if you found it valuable? And also, bonus points, could you leave a review for me as well on Apple? It would be greatly appreciated. If at any point you would like to be on the podcast, or you've got questions that you'd like me to discuss on the podcast, by all means, get on my socials and DM me. Everything you need is there in the show notes. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.